It's okay not to do a special holiday craft with your kids every day during winter break. It's okay not to bake a loaf of candy cane shaped bread for every single one of your neighbors. Hey everyone, it's Aubrey, recovering perfectionist, queen of distraction, and long story short, but my family, we are pinching pennies very hard. So if you, like me, are trying to cut back as much as possible this holiday season, tag along, grab a cup of something cozy, and we are going to chat about 10 things that I'm saying no to this holiday season. Regardless of if you're trying to save money or not, these are also just a few things that we can cut back on to, be kind to our planet during the season of waste, as I also like to refer to the holiday season as. So we're going to jump into number one, new wrapping paper or gift bags. We're just going to break things down simply here. Use what you have. I love a used gift bag. Use the rolls of wrapping paper that you have. If you don't like it that much anymore, I'm pretty sure that there's probably a person that you really don't like that much anymore that you could use that up on. And if you feel like doing something nice for the planet, get crafty with some old grocery bags, old fabrics. I have an old white t-shirt of my son's that I will literally be cutting up for ribbon this year. But at this point in my life, I'm generally avoiding all of gift wrap whatsoever. I do have 2 rolls, one for each of my boys. And then I have a couple larger, just tried and true traditional colors and patterns that I can use for, basically the next 70 years for any larger presents that I can't get in a bag or won't fit in a grocery bag. But this is absolutely a category where I try and reuse absolutely everything that I possibly can. Number 2, fancy advent calendars. If you're like me and you've been using the same advent calendar for years and years, and you see a really nice one that just looks lovely and timeless, and all of a sudden the one that we have is not enough. I feel it, I have been there. But the fact of the matter is, I'm pretty sure that my kids, and probably yours too, they don't care about the vessel. They just care that there is something in that tiny drawer or behind that tiny flap. Really, you could put a treat in like a Ziploc plastic bag and write the date on it in Sharpie. They probably don't give a darn. I think that even just counting down the days until Christmas in a special way, like, the loopy ring thing where you take one off every day, there is just a certain special kind of joy in the anticipation, and that's free. And free is my favorite. Number 3, special holiday throw pillows and blankets. I totally get wanting to embrace the whole cozy vibe of the holidays, but feeling the obligation to have pillows on your couch that say like Merry and Bright, Happy Holidays, or a blanket that's going to feel out of place the second your tree comes out of your house. And if you must, which I do feel like this time of year, a throw blanket on your couch is kind of just necessary because, it's cold. Opt for a cozy neutral or a color that gives you that Christmas vibe, but also something that is going to complement and still be able to live in your space in winter, or, even better, like all year round. The throw blanket that we have in our living room is 100% falling apart, but it looks good in there 24/7, 365. Number 4, new decorations. It just blows my mind how many decorations are for sale every year. And then not just that, but the fact that they clear out by the end of the season. I get if you're starting fresh and this is your first Christmas, but if you have such an abundance of Christmas decorations that you have like several totes that are just overflowing, if you have more ornaments than your tree can handle, I think that it's safe to say that you can say no to, adding. And also, less is more, because what you take out, you have to put away. And I get that, sometimes what we have doesn't feel like enough. And I have been there, but I have tried very hard over the last few years as, our family has grown. And as a result, our expenses have grown. I've created more homemade decorations. I've utilized a lot of greenery from our yard. And sometimes just the most satisfying decor are the things that you make yourself. This time of year, we can be wasteful on so many levels. And I think that not buying new Christmas decor, buying either used if you really want something, or making things yourself, it's just something nice that you can do for the planet, because I'm pretty sure that like 50% of the landfill is old Christmas decor and gift wrap. All right, number 5, a trendy themed Christmas. I remember my first Christmas as an adult, I tried to theme it a Mardi Gras Christmas, and I had just gone to New Orleans with a friend, and I had one friend who quickly brought me back to reality, and she was like, no, Aubrey, the theme of Christmas is Christmas. So unless you're in the Big Easy, I feel like this pressure that we really see on the internet so much every year, like there's always like this new yearly trend to decorate in a specific way. Like it's unattainable for most people to go out and buy new themed decorations every year. Just the whole thing is bonkaroonies. There, I said it, it's bonkaroonies. In my personal opinion, because that's what this all is really, I think that if you stick to the classic traditional vibe, gravitate towards those classic colors, and hang on to those decorations and traditions that feel good to you and your family year after year, you can't go wrong. Number 6, family pajamas. The marketing that makes us feel like we all have to match and wear the same PJs is just kind of infuriating to me. And this is me saying that after I got bamboozled into buying matching PJs for me, my husband, and my 2 boys a couple years ago. And I thought that I was doing it right. I got a pretty neutral pattern, like a nice plaid that we could wear year round. I sized up for both of the boys in hopes that we could get at least a couple years out of the PJs. But the reality of it was my boys wore the pajamas for maybe a half an hour. They immediately came off. They never wore them again. My husband wore his a couple times. Now they live in my pajama drawer because they fit me better than the ones that I had gotten for myself. So now $100 later or so, we have 1 pair of those PJs left. And never again, y'all. Never again. Number 7. So gifts for every single person you know. This is an area that has really taken me a long time to come to terms with, and just realizing that I don't have to get a little something for everybody that I know or everybody that I have a close relationship with. Because like I said, as our expenses have grown, we have a lot more financially on us this year than we ever had before. It's very stressful, actually. There are people that we would, normally buy for without blinking an eye that we've just had to say, like, I'm sorry, but we just can't afford to buy a gift for you this year. And everybody has been extremely understanding. Some people have also been in the same boat. They're like, hey, I've been wanting to have the same conversation with you as well. So if you feel stressed by the amount of gifts that you feel like you have to purchase for people, it's just time to check that list twice and, reevaluate, because I think that there's probably a person or two that you could put on your own personal naughty list. Okay, I love this one. Number 8, physical gifts. Let's start normalizing more the gift of experiences. This is especially one of my favorite things to do for people who are stressed out about space. Once upon a time, my husband and I, we lived in like a little over 500 square foot studio apartment. And the first 4 years of my son's life, I had to find homes for like a toy aisle worth of stuff in my tiny space. So now my sister-in-law is in a similar situation. She's living in a small space with her husband and 2 kids. And so last year for Christmas, we gifted the girls a trip to the zoo with us. My sister-in-law, we said, hey, next time you go and get your nails done, we'll cover that. And I think that there are just so many ways that you can get creative with this. And gift cards are definitely the obvious choice, but I think that gift cards get overlooked a lot when it comes to kids. But I have noticed my son, my 10-year-old at this point, he gets the most excited when he gets a gift card. There's just, something so exciting for him about being able to pick out his own gift. And the toys that he chooses are typically the ones that end up getting played with the most and the ones that stick around long term. Okay, number 9, special holiday specific mugs and dishes. I get it. You want a cute Christmas mug, but you know what? Your coffee is going to taste exactly the same in a mug that you won't feel ridiculous using come June and July. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. Sometimes your coffee really does just taste tastier in a mug that you are very passionate about. But just use a mug that, feels like it fills that holiday vibe. One moment, I'm going to show you. This is one of my 2 mugs. My other mug does have flowers on it. I don't mind using it this time of year. But if I had to choose one of them to, really embrace the holiday spirit, I would probably choose this one. But I can also drink out of this during the summer and not feel like, you're drinking out of a giant Santa head, right? I need to go close that cabinet or it's going to drive me nuts. And that's coming from someone who leaves the cabinets open literally all the time. But basically, yeah, just, use the mugs you have. Sometimes I want to buy like the special serving tray or get the boys a couple special mugs. But really, like, if I'm only using it for a month out of the year, it just doesn't make sense, right? So here we are. That brings us to our final topic, number 10, guilt for not going over the top in any way, shape, or form. Also, no guilt for doing any of the things that I previously listed. I'm just a lady on the internet, which I think is really important to remember this time of year. It is okay not to do things like everybody on the internet. It's okay not to do things like people in your life. It's okay not to do Elf on the Shelf. It's okay not to do a special holiday craft with your kids every day during winter break. It's okay not to bake a loaf of candy cane shaped bread for every single one of your neighbors. I think that the amount of pressure that can be put on parents and especially moms, it's our own fault for feeling pressured, really, but once you realize that you are ultimately the one in control of what gets done and what you feel value in, That's very freeing, but just reminding yourself that I think a lot of the times, the magic and joy that we put into the holiday season, sometimes the best gift that we can give to ourselves and those that we love is just showing ourselves grace and only investing our energy and time and money into the things that we are able to do easily without putting stress on ourselves, physically, emotionally, financially, this, that, and the other. I could go on, but we're going to stop there. We're going to wrap things up pretty quickly today because I've got things to do. 'Tis the season. I appreciate you taking a chunk out of your day to hang out with me. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful as we go into the holiday season. I feel like this time of year really can just be so stressful in so many ways, as I, obviously just talked about. But that is all. If you are not yet subscribed and you would like to hang out with me for the holiday season, you are invited. I think next week we are going to be creating my winter capsule wardrobe, which I am particularly looking forward to. So if you'd like to pop in for that, make sure you are subscribed. If not, either way, I hope to see you in the next one. As always, I love you. Have fun and be kind.